doing things that discouraged investment in residential property. So they started allowing banks to charge higher interest rates to investors. They put caps on interest-only and investor lending growth. State governments have started charging higher land tax to investors. So all of this saw investors exit the market.
The Federal Treasurer is refusing to rule out changes to the Stage 3 tax cuts, which don't kick in until 2024. Some Labor colleagues and the opposition are urging the government to stick with the tax relief, but Jim Chalmers says the nation's finances are in a precarious position.
We already know we've got high and rising inflation. We know that we've got these big, persistent structural pressures on spending. And so in the context of all of that, we need to make sure we're building our buffers to the extent that we can against what might come at us over the course of the next couple of years.
A former Liberal staffer has told a court she reached out to police to restart the investigation into her alleged rape after quitting her job in politics. Brittany Higgins has given evidence that she felt pressured not to proceed with her initial complaint in 2019. The man charged, Bruce Lerman, has pleaded not guilty to sexual intercourse without consent. And Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is meeting with his Solomons counterpart in Canberra this afternoon. It's the second time Mr Albanese and Manas Sogavare have met face-to-face. The latest talks come amid ongoing tension over China's influence in the tiny Pacific country. Now turning to 5AA sport, Ashton Agar and Marcus Stoinis will return to Australia's T20 squad for the 3 World Cup warm-up games against England starting Sunday. Stoinis says he's over a side strain and could have played in the 2 games against the West Indies in Queensland.
Just speaking with the coaches and the physio staff, I don't think it was worth it in terms of the travel over there. We'll have 3 games within 5 days or so, and at the end of the day we've got a World Cup coming up, so these are still preparation games, I guess.
Meantime, in Sheffield Shield action at Karen Rolton Oval, Victoria are currently 5 for 131 after being sent into bat by SA. Collingwood and Geelong are working on a deal to get forward Ollie Henry to the Cats. The 20-year-old is from the regional city and wants to play with his brother Jack, while the Crows deal for Gold Coast star Isaac Rankin is expected to be locked away later today. And Matthew Ebden and Max Purcell are taking to the court in the men's doubles quarterfinals at the Japan Tennis Open. They'll be followed by top seeds Nick Kyrgios and Thanasi Kokkinakis. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Newton, we're going to burst Watermain, Montague Road near Forest Avenue. At Paradise, twisted traffic light on Darley Road at Gamay Road. Aldinga, pothole repairs are slowing things up on Main South Road near Port Road, and we're starting to get busy for the drive home South Road as you're driving through Mile End. Cameras, look out for those today. Got one Brighton Road, Somerton Park, and Dawes Road at Melrose Park. Who helps you rise against rising interest rates? The refinanciers from Aussie. Let's talk home loans at aussie.com.au or come in store today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Sunny with a late shower or two, 23. Showers easing tomorrow, 17. Saturday partly cloudy, 16. And Sunday partly cloudy and 18. Right now it's 23. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Gone in 90 seconds. See the raid at Hyde Park for a lucrative haul of designer clothes. The hitch in the case against a serial Adelaide Oval pitch invader. A new space weather centre opened right here in Adelaide. Plus the surprising number of Aussie kids experiencing anxiety. And the search for Adelaide's mystery lotto millionaire. I'm Brenton Raglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
Electricity bill!
Bills shouldn't be scary. EcoVantage have supplied energy efficiency in homes for over 15 years. They can install hot water systems that use up to 80% less electricity than regular hot water systems. Help the environment while you save hundreds. And thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you could get your energy efficient hot water system supplied and installed for as little as no cost to you. Stop scary hot water bills with ecovantage.com.au.
I'm high! There's nothing like coming home to your local, the Excelsior Hotel, especially if it's a Thursday. Because Thursdays, the Excelsior takes $10 off all steaks. So choose any steak, cooked just the way you like it, and the Excelsior will knock $10 off the price. And don't forget happy hour 4 to 6 p.m. weekdays and 12 to 6 p.m. Saturdays. The Excelsior Hotel feels like coming home, but better. You just know it's a Barreau hotel.
Opening today at the Regal Theatre is the star-studded Amsterdam, featuring Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Anya Taylor-Joy, Rami Malek and Robert De Niro. Amsterdam is set in the 1930s, where three friends witness a murder only to become suspects themselves and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history. The Regal Theatre is a beautiful venue filled with history, and it's available to hire for weddings, birthday parties, award nights and school graduations. And don't miss your tickets for Dancing in the Shadows of Motown, live on Saturday the 22nd of October. This 10-piece powerhouse band features internationally renowned musicians recreating live performances of the Motown legends. You'll be dancing in the streets. Movie tickets are just $12.50 for adults and $10.50 for seniors. For movie times and everything happening at the Regal Theatre, jump online at theregaltheatre.com.au.
The Allington's Expo sale is on now. Shirts and shorts from $10, boots from $49, with high-vis jackets and vests half price, plus exciting giveaways with every purchase. Save 20 to 50% on workwear and boots from Blundstone, Steel Blue, Rossi, Hard Yakka, King G, Mac, FXD, Cat, Bisley and many more. Hurry, 4 days only. Allington's, in-store, Main North Road, Parafield, or online, allingtons.com.au.
Hi, Susanna Toop here. 30 days. That's the average time a rental property stays vacant. But at Toop & Toop, we find tenants in half the time, saving landlords an average of $860 a year. Who are you trusting to look after your biggest investment? Toop.com.au.
Dreaming of a new bathroom or kitchen? Get the best brands and the latest trends at Adelaide Bathroom and Kitchen Supplies. The ABK Supplies showroom has just been renovated to showcase new tapware ranges from ADP, Mia, Fienza, Nero, Phoenix and Abbey. With designs in gunmetal, brushed nickel, matte black and brushed gold and chrome, your kitchen and bathroom will be stylish and timeless. Browse the new displays at ABK, Adelaide Bathroom and Kitchen Supplies, Lower North East Road opposite Dernancourt Village.
Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Welcome back to Afternoons on this glorious Thursday afternoon. A top of 23.9 degrees. A little bit of a change heading around the west, around Sedunia Eyre Peninsula area. A couple of showers expected later tonight. So get out, hang out the washing and enjoy the sunshine. Get some vitamin D. Now, my next guest is hugely popular funny man Lawrence Mooney. He's on his way to Adelaide to make us laugh and share some stories about his upcoming book, Embracing Your Limitations. And he joins us now. Lawrence Mooney, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Jade, and thanks for having me on 5AA in Adelaide. I'm looking forward to getting over there and launching the book. Limo will be helping me do that. So, yeah, the book was launched yesterday. It's a comedy parody of the self-help genre, Jade, which I'm sure you've dipped into, being a person that wants to improve herself. And I am a self-help addict. So what I decided was I'm going to lampoon the whole thing because I have read every self-help book there is to read. And what you do is you give yourself, offer it some lip service for a few days, change a few things, make some outrageous resolutions, and then you just revert back to being yourself.
Well, I love that you've got it in one little book because I need a whole wall of encyclopedias for my self-help book. But it's called Embracing Your Limitations. What are your limitations?
Well, my limitations, like most people, are myself. I am who I am. And so you continue on in life and you make, the same mistake 2 or 3 times or maybe endlessly. And maybe you just have to resolve yourself to yourself. I reckon that what this book is an antidote to the modern malaise, and that is busying yourself. We just, with lists and lists of stuff to do and buy and continue on, and then we hit social media, scroll through Insta, become disconsolate at other people's perfect lives. No one gets off Insta and feels really happy for somebody else's success, do they, Jade? We all go, oh my God. No, not really.
The green-eyed monster comes out and says, is that holiday really that fun? Do you look that great in that bikini? No, you don't.
And also, I know that couple and they hate one another, but when they're on social media, they're always smiling and somewhere sunny. So, you know, it's just a bit of a facade. So what I'm saying to people is just resolve yourself to yourself. Don't keep overreaching. And the big thing that we're taught to do is to dream. You know, go for your dreams, shoot for the stars. Most of us don't have the determination or the intelligence or the wherewithal to make our dreams come true. So it's just throw your dreams out and kind of be happy with what you've got. And there's a little bit of Zen in there too. There's a little bit of Buddhist philosophy. At its comic heart, this book is actually a self-help book.
Did you have an epiphany where you were like, okay, it's time to quit and live your own life on your own terms? That's what you say on the blurb. Did you have a moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to do it my way?
I reckon I probably have epiphanies on a weekly basis.
Yep.
I'm a big epiphany guy. It's like, this is no good. Everything's got to change. Right, I'm making some changes. I'm going to stop doing this, stop doing that, and then I kind of revert back. And that's kind of what the book's about. But the epiphany or the creation of Embracing Your Limitations came way back in the 90s. So that's how long it's taken me to write this book, when I created a character called Dr. Perry Semler. And he was an American from Huntington Beach in California, and he was a demotivational expert. And so his book was called Embracing Your Limitations, or his fake book that he would always refer to. And so that's where the nut of the idea came from. And then last year I thought, I should write that because there's so much around. I just finished reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F and The Power of Now. And it is all about, you know, at the heart of all self-help, it's this message: calm yourself down. You've got to be calm and focus. And they should have it on one page: be calm and focus. And it's all about that. So I thought, I am going to write a book, Jade, because The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F had sold 7 million copies. The Power of Now had sold 2 million. And I wanted a cut of the self-help pie. I wanted to become a self-styled guru. And I've done it. I've had talks about embracing your limitations at corporates, and people come up and, you know, in management, senior management positions, and go, there's a real nut of truth in that you should actually, you know, identify your skills and basically stay within what I refer to as your limitation field. Like, you know, you're a great broadcaster, but you're not thinking to yourself, you know what, I might give brain surgery a crack. No. I might just, you know, that's your world. That would be very dangerous. You don't know where the hippocampus is. Maybe you do. But, you know, what I'm saying is we constantly, and I think we're putting a lot of pressure on our youth to overreach. You've got to, you know, extend to the stars. Some people are really good at cleaning. And, you know, if that's what they want to do with their life, then who are we to say, oh, that's not good enough, you know?
Well, what's your thoughts on people looking perfect? Because, I mean, we want the perfect life, but everyone wants to look perfect as well these days.
I think that we are down a rabbit hole or a wormhole that we're not going to come out of quickly, because we are the most photographed population that's ever walked the earth, and all of the photos are of us, taken by ourselves. We're so narcissistic, and so we look at ourselves more than ever before. And unfortunately, there's this, you know, massive trend of cosmetic surgery that isn't just a fashion anymore. It's just everybody, you know, men and women alike, Botox, filler, lifts, you know, silicone augmentation, if you will. And I just don't see a way coming back from it, because we're creating this kind of perfect but very generic look. You know, there's a sameness about that smoothness and big-lipped look. And I just like, you know, a bit of... your lines are really what you've earned in life, aren't they?
They're your happy lines. They tell a story.
Why would you sacrifice them? They're all full of, you know, stories of happiness and woe and late nights and celebration. And, you know, it's your song lines on your face. It's the rings of a tree. But we're getting rid of all of that detail and wonderful stuff, and we're becoming very generic. I think it's a bit sad, but I think I can't see it turning around.
No. Look, I read in an article, because as you do when you're, interviewing someone, you do a quick Google search, and I just read recently that a fan got a bit too close to you after a Sydney show. What happened? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Listen, it was probably, I would never accuse the media of beating something up.
But
that just doesn't happen. I mean, it's the fourth estate and somebody needs to tell the truth. But really, it was nothing. So
I love cuddle.
It was over before it started. And, there's two sides to every story. So, yeah, I'm not going to lay the blame at anyone's feet. Just, I think Mick Malthouse once said, not a lot good happens after midnight. And let's take that as a salient point.
That is so true. More lines on your face happen after midnight.
How many times have you woken up in the morning and just gone, I should have left earlier, I should have gone straight home?
Yes.
In fact, Limo, who is co-hosting the book launch in Adelaide with me, has a saying, he goes, no one woke up and said, gee, I wish I had more to drink last night.
That's so true.
It is so true.
Yeah, where's the handbrake? Should have pressed that at 11 p.m.
Well, that's why, that's what you need is, a personal valet to go, sir, it's time to get in the Rolls Royce and go home now. And you go, yes, indeed. Off we go, Jeeves.
So you've been selling too many of your books to have a Rolls. Well done.
Yes, that's right. So the book is available, Embracing Your Limitations. I tell you what a fabulous read it would be for Dad or Mum for Christmas. So get in early and get one wrapped.
Just in time. Hey, you're also coming to Adelaide. 4 shows, 3 have already sold out. Congratulations. 1 show left at the Rhino Room. What can audiences expect? What are you chatting about?
So we're going to chat about the book. Limo will introduce me. I'll do about 20 minutes of stand-up on the subject of self-help and cautionary tales from my own life, because they're littered throughout the book. I use my own limitations as a guide for young players. And then Limo and I will do a little interview, bit of a reading, and then we'll take a Q&A from the audience. And it's going to be a wonderful hour. And then you can grab a book afterwards and I'll sign it for you and have a chat to you and, maybe have a Cooper's. So that's pretty much the evening.
Life according to Uncle Lawrence. I love it.
Your Uncle Larry, Jade. Good on you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. And Embracing Your Limitations is available at all good bookstores. And if you'd like to see Lawrence Mooney, you can book through the Rhino Room. He is coming to town on Tuesday, October 11. We're going to take a super short break. We'll be back soon.
Go Toyota certified pre-owned at North Point Toyota and enjoy the same feeling you get with a new Toyota. North Point Toyota's certified pre-owned vehicles come with a 90-point safety check, carry a full service history and now an extra 1-year warranty. North Point Toyota certified pre-owned vehicles are in a class of their own. It's the North Point way. Go Toyota certified pre-owned at North Point Toyota, Hillcrest Prospect, Port Augusta, or search northpointtoyota.com.au.
Hi, it's me, your lawn. On behalf of lawns everywhere, a reminder not to ignore us this spring. Go on, we'll make it worth your while.
Don't just leave it to the mower and the hose. Take the next step for a barefoot-ready lawn and add Yates Weed and Feed.
Moving into a retirement village can be a big adjustment and buying a unit can be prohibitive. So here's an alternative: renting. At Riverbank Village in the heart of Mount Barker, they offer quality rental accommodation for seniors. That's right, rental accommodation. No entry or exit fees and no hidden costs. Just one fortnightly payment, which includes 3 meals daily, weekly linen service, reverse cycle aircon and social club. Secure, safe, friendly and close to shops. To find out more, go to riverbankvillage.com.au or call 8391 0449.
If you love greyhound racing, come and watch the stars light up at the Tab Adelaide Cup on Friday, October 7 at Angle Park. Enjoy Group 1 greyhound racing with live music, food trucks, tab and bar facilities trackside, plus free kids entertainment and free general admission. For all the amazing hospitality packages and info, visit greyhoundracingsa.com.au. See you at the Tab Adelaide Cup, Friday, October 7 from 5 o'clock. Drink responsibly, gamble responsibly.
G'day.
It's Baz from FIVEAA Milk Company. South Australian dairy farmers are doing it tough right now, but at FIVEAA Milk we always look after our own, and you can too. When you reach for milk, reach for FIVEAA Milk and help support our hard-working South Australian dairy farmers and their families. Because right now, they need our help. 3 words make all the difference. FIVEAA Milk Company. South Australian first and proud of it.
Being early usually feels like... But it could feel like driving away a brand new Toyota Corolla Hybrid and cost you less than a coffee. Jump online and get your $2 tickets in the People's Choice Community Lottery Early Bird Draw today. T's and C's apply. SA Lottery Licence number M14289.
Today only, every gift to RSPCA will be doubled by generous dollar matching sponsors. Your $50 donation becomes $100, going twice as far to help save and rehome animals across South Australia. Over the next few months, over 3,000 more animals will come through RSPCA's doors. For one special day, you can double your impact and help change their lives forever. Don't miss out. Donate now. rspcagivingday.com and give to get them home.
Jade Robran, talking Adelaide on 1395 5AA.
Welcome back to Afternoons, and thank you so much if you're joining us on the Foodland live stream coming in on Facebook and YouTube. Lots to talk about still in the show. We're going to have a chat with Marina Pryor. Beautiful performer. She's in town, landed this afternoon. She's performing in Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, the musical. We'll have a chat with her soon. But press release that's just crossed my desk here says the state government has moved to rectify a significant financial shortage for one of the state's lowest paid industries, authorising a 6% fare increase for SA taxis. This is Tom Koutsantonis, Minister for Infrastructure and Transport.
No, this is about making taxis competitive. This is one of the perverse outcomes of not having a pay increase since 2016. Taxis can't compete with Uber. They can't get the drivers because the drivers are making more in Uber than they are driving a taxi. If you increase the fares in taxis, you increase competitiveness, and then what you have is you don't have the surge charging. You know, on Fridays, Saturday nights when things are very, very busy, Uber all of a sudden starts surge charging. Taxis don't have that ability. They maintain a flat fare and a flat flag fare fall, which means that you are confident that when you catch a taxi, you know what the price is going to be. So if we can attract more people to driving a taxi and allow them to compete with Uber, you'll actually see a reduction in prices for passenger transport fleets, especially in point-to-point travel.
That is Tom Koutsantonis there, Minister for Infrastructure and Transport. Now, we know the cost of living expenses. They're hitting most of us, whether it's mortgage repayments, petrol, groceries, medical bills or insurances. They're all going up. And with that, a lot of people have decided to return to work or get a second job. Now, some want to, but are just not quite sure where to turn. Now, my next guest is the founder of a platform called Sidekicker. It's a place for people to look for casual work, and with so many business on the lookout for casual workers actually hold all the power. Joining us is Tom Amos from Sidekicker. Thomas, great to have you on the program. Good afternoon.
G'day, Jade. How are you doing?
I'm
good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about Sidekicker. How does it work?
Well, Sidekick is a two-sided platform that allows a business to put up a request. The request might be need someone in for a few hours, it might be a day, it might be a month. And that request is sent out to a pool of pre-screened workers called Sidekicks, which are able to see the request. They like the look of it, they like the look of the business, they like the pay rate, then they're able to apply. And the business then gets to select their favourite from the available profiles.
I bet you're popular at the moment.
We are popular. It is good.
Yeah,
it's good, and we're very excited. We will be launching in Adelaide soon, so we're very excited to get there in early November.
Excellent. So if people are interested and they're looking for a second job or they're looking for staff, what do they have to do?
They just have to sign up. So if they just go to sidekicker.com, then they register and they can either say they want to be a business and hire sidekicks or they want to be a worker. If they are looking for work, they do need to go through our interview and screening process. That is just a way for us to make sure that for our businesses that are using our platform, that they're getting great psychics that are reliable and have the skills to carry out the task.
And what are the areas where jobs are in most demand?
We're actually seeing pretty consistent demand across all of our categories. Obviously, leading into the festive season, events and hospitality has been booming, and I think we had a very large number of psychics over at the Royal Melbourne Show. But we're also seeing good demand in the healthcare sector, which I think is is obviously an industry that's short-staffed, and then the warehousing sector as well is starting to ramp up as towards Chrissy.
What about aged care?
Yes. Yeah, aged care is that's one that there is a lot of demand, and our fill rates within the aged care sector are definitely lower than some of our others, and that's just a function of the fact that the aged care sector is significantly short-staffed.
We have a lot of listeners that have been in that particular industry in the past, but because of, for whatever reason, and it could be COVID, that they don't want to, risk their health and they've stepped out for a while, or it could be, pensions. If they work too long or for too much, then it can affect their pension. So this is a real area where a lot of our listeners love it, would love to get back into it, but just not quite sure how. So what types of jobs are advertised in that area?
Within the aged care sector. So there's sort of a couple of key areas we mainly play in. One is personal care workers or AIN. The other is the hospitality side of the aged care sector.
Beautiful.
So those are the two areas we mainly focus on.
Thomas, thank you so much. Thomas Amos there from Sidekicker, that is coming to Adelaide in November. We'll touch base with the team a little closer to their launch date and, interview them again about how you can get involved and find that second job. Hey, listen to this, right? Okay, so out of 1,000 different wines, a $4.99 Aldi wine, it's taken out the top prize at the Melbourne International Wine Show. It's a South Point Estate Pinot Grigio, so it's a white wine, made in 2022. It took home the Double Gold Award at the event, which was judged against, like I said, more than 1,000 wines from 8 countries all around the world. $4.99. Now, I haven't tried it. If you've tried it, I would love to hear from you, because if I'm seeing a bottle of wine, I know this is really snobby, but if I'm seeing a bottle for $4.99 on a shelf, I'm thinking, might use that for cooking, not for drinking, but hey, it has smashed its 1,000 others. For tickets to the Cheese Fest, I've got a chance for you and 3 mates to head along to enjoy the Cheese Fest on Friday the 14th of October. I'd love to hear from you. What's something that's cheap as chips that you've discovered that you just think is absolutely awesome and you cannot live without? Something, a discovery where you've gone, wow, that is cheap, but I can't live without that now. That is worth its weight in gold, and I love it. Can be food, drink, material, anything at all. To win the tickets, 8223 0000.
Sunday evenings on 5AA. Adelaide crime like you've never heard it before.
It's an actual case that happened in this town.
Understand the true nature of Adelaide's famous seedy underbelly with Adelaide's expert courts reporter, Sean Fuster.
Uncensored, unfiltered.
Joined by partner in crime, Daniel Panozzo.
The other side that we wouldn't normally get.
For Just Lawful. The Adelaide crime stories that will leave you stunned.
Treading over some very fraught areas.
Just Lawful. Sundays from 7 on Adelaide's 5AA.
Need an electrician? Ken Hall Electricians. We're qualified electricians for power points, sensor lights, smoke alarms, rewires and inspections. And we're as local as you. So give Ken a call. Ken Hall Electricians, 8364 5855.
The Skip, Mark Bickley talks footy each Friday night on the 5AA Sports Show. Thanks to Jarvis Toyota. Rediscover the road in the all-new Toyota Land Cruiser 300 at Jarvis Toyota, South Road, Clovelly Park. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. A 19-year-old Sydney man has been charged following an SMS scam involving the Optus cyber attack. Rents continue to skyrocket across Adelaide, with the median cost for a house now $450 a week. Police are still searching for a stolen car used in a smash and grab at Hyde Park this morning, and the Crows deal for Gold Coast star Isaac Rankin is expected to be locked away later today. Sunny with a late shower or two, 23. Currently it's 22. More news at 4 o'clock in As It Happens on 5AA.
Will retirement living suit you? You're invited to FIVEAA's Spring Open Day events to get a sneak peek of the lifestyle you could look forward to. Enjoy free refreshments and activities, explore our communities, inspect our display homes and chat with our friendly team. There's even a chance to win $10,000 when you RSVP. With 3 events across Adelaide on October 15, take the first step and search FIVEAA Open Day today. RSVP is essential and COVID-safe practices apply. See website for T's and C's. Licence number T22/1434.
Hi, it's Wayne from Wayne Phillips Kia. If you're considering a new Kia, look no further than SA's #1 Kia dealership, Wayne Phillips Kia at Ranella. We have a great selection of new demos and used cars all in stock, so you can get the absolute best deal. Drop in and take an extended test drive to Wirra Winery in McLaren Vale and enjoy coffee and cake on us. Don't buy anywhere until you meet our team and experience why we've been SA's #1 Kia dealership for the last 7 years. Wayne Phillips Kia, Main South Road, Ranella.
At Anderson's Solicitors, we have a brand new look. But behind it, we're still the same faces. The same approachable, client-focused team, committed to helping find the right solution for you. With locations across the state, whether you need help with family law, commercial law, wills and estates, or personal injury claims, talk to Anderson's Solicitors today. Visit andersons.com.au or phone 8238 6666. That's 8238 6666.
Do you talk to your plants to help them grow? Do they talk back? If they could, they'd say, "Don't forget the sea salt." Or if they were like a really tough big plant, maybe, "Don't forget the sea salt." Or a plant that's not doing so well might say, oh please, don't forget the sea salt." Anyway, you get the drift. They're trying to tell you, don't forget the sea salt, your complete garden health treatment at Bunnings Warehouse and all good hardware and garden centres.
Hi, Susanna Toop here. 30 days. That's the average time a rental property stays vacant. But at Toop and Toop, we find tenants in half the time, saving landlords an average of $860 a year. Who are you trusting to look after your biggest investment? Toop.com.au.
City Discount Tires. Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. When you buy 3 Falcon Zeek ZE914 car tyres, you'll get the 4th tyre free. The perfect tyre for cost-saving, fuel efficiency and performance. City Discount Tires are a proud multi-tyre and wheel brand retailer offering great service at great prices. Visit citydiscounttires.com.au to find your nearest store. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires. $13.95. Adelaide's 5AA. This is Jade Robran.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Afternoons. It's 25 minutes to 4 o'clock. Coming up after 4 o'clock, it is Rowey's Sports Show. If you're tuning in on the live stream, thanks to Foodland, I have got a couple of guests in here who've got some beautiful plants. We're going to be talking about cooking with native Australian plants. Joining me in the studio is Damien Coulthard and Damien's wife, Rebecca Sullivan. Together, they are at the forefront. Because I need to ask you about this in a moment. But the couple are at the forefront of an Australian native food revolution, and I really am excited to talk to you guys about this because it's a thing and it's exciting. Guys, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
Let's talk about husband and wife. Let's get that elephant out of the room. What's going on, guys?
I love that in every press release that's been sent out, even printed in the book, it says Rebecca Sullivan, Damien's wife. I'd just like to clear it up. This Rebecca Sullivan, Damien's partner of 10 years, still waiting for a wedding ring.
Okay.
It's a sore point because Beth brings us up in every formal occasion like this, so it's probably the only thing I've got.
Every opportunity where I can put it out into the world, literally, I will take it.
Well, we are live camera and on radio. If you'd like to drop to one knee, I'm sure we can find a packet of burger rings out there.
I've got something planned really special, so we'll wait for another time.
Well, we've got it on record now.
that's totally on record,
Look,
Damien.
guys, let's talk
that.
about this beautiful book that arrived in my hot little hands this morning, First Nations Food Companion. It is beautiful and filled with so many gorgeous pictures and photos and food that we can find here in our own backyard.
Absolutely. We're very proud of this book. It's been years in the making and years of learning. Like Damien will attest to, we're never going to be masters of this. You know, we've got generations and generations and generations of people before us who have been looking after this country and its land and its beautiful local foods. And I like to call these truly local foods because they are. And we can't be part of a local food movement if we don't embrace the foods from our own back garden, so our truly native ones.
And I guess what we're seeing through our business, Wandu, is a great interest in these beautiful, beautiful foods across diverse landscapes, many different Aboriginal nations. And what you see throughout the book, we start with 60 native ingredients that are accessible, and then we use that across 100 recipes, I think, throughout the book, which people can explore in their own time and adapt to their own flavour profiles. But ultimately it's around creating a memory with family or your children and moving on from there. So it's just something that people can experiment and hopefully love and integrate into their daily eating habits.
And have you found that there's a real groundswell of interest in this area now?
I think when you start to see it in the media so heavily across various platforms and cooking shows, there is a want for it, but ultimately I think it comes back to us as general people in homes and going out and forming those particular relationships with First Nations people, that those who still understand their knowledge systems and learning from them about it, so we learn a little more deeply about it. I know within the book, in those 60 ingredients, we've tried to title it with the language name and the common name and the botanical name, and ultimately that's around, like people do with place names, it's about the origin of place for that plant. Now, as we know, there's many different species of one plant, and the plant on the other nation might be on someone else's nation as well. So if anyone has any other language names, for example, the Vitore, Acacia Vitore, we call it Minga, which is the seed. If someone else knows another language name, please send that through to Wandu.
Like we keep saying, this is a living record. It's a living record because so much of this stuff has been lost through both colonisation and overgrazing and climate change, and so many different factors have contributed to this. So really what we're trying to do is respectfully gather as much information that can be shared. There are lots of stories, as Damien can attest to as an Indigenous person. This is not sort of anything I can comment on, but effectively what we're trying to do is just make this accessible to home cooks, because if it just continues to be in fancy pants restaurants or just on the occasional cooking show and continues to just be a fad or a trend for now, then we're not ever going to have a consistent product. We're never going to have commercialisation. We're never going to have it in a supermarket. But that's what's changing, and that's what's exciting. You can go into supermarkets now. You can go online and find this stuff. You can go into specialty stores or a farmer's market. The access is there.
And I guess another point around access is ultimately we're trying to inspire people to grow it in their homes, and it doesn't matter whether you live in Adelaide, in an apartment block, or out in the Clare Valley on a property. We've got loads of native plants around the house, some in the ground, some in pots, the same plant in multiple places and positions, because what we know about native plants is they thrive in different conditions. So for example, we have the Davison plum growing inside our house, which we'll probably have to remove soon because it's going to explode and take the roof off to get it out. But and it's just one of those things you can spend time. We have a 2.5-year-old Mallee, so if he walks past the lemon myrtle or the Geraldton wax, just looking at the leaf and then rubbing that leaf with the warmth of his hand and then smelling that, it's creating that memory for him, and you can see the joy and just his mind soaking it in. So it's just about creating that memory, and it's something that you can share with your little ones.
And go back to that memory stuff. I mean, for you, your earliest memory is of the quandong, the uti, the native peach, and that is your memory of your grandparents, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I had, a great childhood growing up with family, and family to me is really, really important. And we had a lot of opportunity out in country and travelling and hearing stories about my dads and aunties and uncles, but then hearing more about the cultural stuff. So when we think about culture, it's different forms of cultural expression, and one of those expressions is plants, or it could be country, which is art. as well. So it's a memory, and when we lose our elders, it's a reminder that, you know, sometimes life gets busy, but we need to start to prioritise and start learning and re-engaging, and that's me re-engaging, it's Beck re-engaging as non-Indigenous person as well. It's just getting out and forming those authentic relationships over a long period of time, just not, you know, NAIDOC week or Reconciliation week. So,
Beck, you've got a couple of plants in front of you. Take us through some of the. Would you say plants or herbs?
Yeah, so both. They're both, I guess. So we brought in for you, Jade, was just a few things that have both been grown in pots on our balcony when we lived here in the city, when we lived in Bowden, and now we grow still in pots on our farm in Clare. So what we're trying to show people is that no matter where you live or no matter what environment you live in, big or small garden, you can grow some of this stuff at home and start to learn about it and start to integrate it into your cooking and start to substitute. So I've got as an example here, I've got round leaf mint. So this is a type of bush mint. Oh, cool. Which would you like to try some?
Absolutely.
I'm only going to give you one leaf.
Okay.
Because it's quite strong.
Thank
in
you.
flavour. So this is, I mean, just smelling that right there, you can
Smells
smell
a bit like rosemary.
Yeah, it does. It's a hard herb
with mint. Smell
very mentholy.
Very. It's like Vicks. You could rub it on your chest.
You actually can. So all of these beautiful plants have medicinal components to them. You know, they're all healthy. They're all medicine. You've got. What do you think of the? Go on, taste it. It's also like eating or drinking mouthwash. It's very not in a bad way, in a great way. If you haven't got a toothbrush, you could just chow down on some of this.
There are so many layers to that.
Yeah, it's really complex. Really mentholy, really hardy, and just a beautiful in tea, beautiful in baking, dried out, infusing oils. We've also got some native spinaches here, which is a really fantastic way of substituting, right? Everyone uses spinach quite regularly. We've got two. We've got a Warrigal green and a Barilla spinach here. And they're both super healthy, so easy to grow. You can't kill these if you try, unless you're really terrible. Try those two. They're a spinach. And then we've got a native parsley. And the native parsley, the main difference, I mean, you can still tell it's parsley, but it's got this real spicy component to it, and it's got a real kick. And then we brought this one in, not that you'd eat this leaf, but we wanted to show you this plant. This is kangaroo apple, and you can see just by looking at this leaf, it looks like a kangaroo paw.
Oh, yeah.
Now, kangaroo apple has these gorgeous little red fruits, and when they're red, not before they're red, because before they're red, they're poisonous, they taste like little sun-dried tomatoes. So these are just things that are growing in our place. Kangaroo apple is also a great hedge. It's great for biodiversity.
It's also great just to protect the other herbs that
you
just tasted.
Shade.
So as shade, if it's exposed.
I've opened up just to a random page, and you've got bush tomato scones with green ant butter. When you think of ant, you think, what? I'm not eating an ant. But green ants are very much edible, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tell us about them.
Citrus flavour coming through it. I was lucky enough to taste some of them while experiencing a trip on country in Nullumboy in Gove, which we take through an Aboriginal program, going up there and going out and foraging with the Yolngu. And you can see the amazement and the eyes light up of our students seeing that and going out and harvest it. And I really feel those types of experiences inspire our students to move further and delve further into their own cultural identity.
And what teenager doesn't want to go, ew, I'm not eating an ant, and then eat an ant and then feel really proud of themselves for eating an ant? But those little green ants are really important culturally for the Larrakia people up in the Northern Territory, and they're harvested really ethically. They take the nest and they put the nest to sleep by putting it in a freezer, and then we get the pleasure of using them in cooking. They've got this real sort of, like Damien said, real citrusy punch to them, and a little bit of coriander seed. They're great to use as garnishes, or if you want to trick some friends and put some ants on their food, see what they do. There's also a great green ant gin brand made by the Motlop boys from Something Wild that you can get in the central markets. So, and even if it is only a gesture, a tiny bit of something on a person's meal or in their meal, it gets the conversation started, and it creates this safe place for people, and that's what food does.
Of course, starts the conversation. Damien, was there somebody in your family that was a real cook?
Yeah, so my earliest memories out in the country, and a lot of it was, it is basic. moving across and eating kangaroo and that smell of that. So I guess an inspiration to me is my grandmother. So moving across country, hearing stories, learning about our different kinship systems, learning about plants and what it means to particular particular identities. I already on my 3 people. It was moving back with my grandmother into a kitchen and eating the kwangdong, the uti, and seeing her make the pie. Now I can admit here on air that I wasn't the best at helping, and I used to eat a lot of it raw, and I used to love the pie as well, eating it with Golden North ice cream. But yeah, it's just one of those things we connect food to a memory and to a special person.
And look at
so
your face light up when you talk about it.
Yeah, just a magical moment.
The way he lights up when he talks about, those experiences, in turn makes me light up, because once again, going back to food being just this joyful thing for most people, it really does create a space of conversation. And for us, the important conversation here is Aboriginal culture and First Nations foods,
Yes. Are you able to go and visit a certain area and pick things for yourself, or is that not culturally acceptable?
I think foraging sometimes can be dangerous if you don't know the area. I know when we talk about foraging for plants, you've got to be able to identify it, we'd say, at least 3 times. There are many different species of one plant, and sometimes they can be poisonous. I think it comes back to just engaging with the right people, and that could be non-Aboriginal or Aboriginal, and learning more about that plant. And that's why we kind of encourage people to buy and plant in their homes first until they develop knowledge and understanding around the characteristics of those plants.
But any foraging is the same. It's not just foraging for native foods. If you forage, or you're a forager, or you go out foraging, you just have to be respectful, right? You don't forage near a road because you know it's going to be polluted. You don't forage in a dog park because you know it's going to be pissed on by dogs. And you don't take too much, and you always leave some behind environmentally for the birds and the bees, and you don't forage in your neighbour's yard if he's a grumpy old man, because he's going to be...
He'll bite.
Yeah, exactly.
If I kind of think of a place we can visit, I'm going to give the Flinders Ranges a plug because I'm an Udmartner person, so in and around Ikarawal, Pina Pound. Christian Coulthard, who owns Wadna, just out of Blim, and he offers great tours on country. He's authentic, he's really knowledgeable, he's comical and funny and great at sharing stories. And if anyone gets the opportunity to visit that space, definitely visit Wadna and go out in country and learn about the different plants that are there.
Let's talk about the Barb and Lil's Christmas pudding, because this looks sensational, and everyone loves a bit of an Aussie traditional Christmas, and I mean, this doesn't get any more Aussie than this recipe. Tell us what's in it.
Well, it's just an experimentation of using a range of different natives, and as you can see, and there's a range of different fruits throughout that. And
who's Barb and Lil?
So,
Barb's
my grandmother.
And Lil is my great-grandmother, and my great-grandmother used to, and so did Damien's grandmother, make the Christmas pud every single year. Now, Damien's grandmother's recipe was for what's called a white pudding, and my grandmother's was for a English pudding, and what we did was just combine the two, and wherever there was a spice or a fruit that could be replaced with a native one, we have. So that recipe, I believe, has got in excess of about 15 native ingredients in it, plus some beautiful ochre, which is made by our mate Brendan Carter. Ochre is a native spirit, effectively.
Wow.
So instead of using brandy or whatever spirit you'd use in the pudding, we've added another native element to it with this beautiful ochre drink.
And you've created green eggs.
Green eggs. So
green eggs and ham.
Green eggs
no one
and
ever
ham.
thought they existed, and they do.
It basically taking, all of these beautiful greens that exist and I'm going to go back to the ease of growing this stuff. You can't kill it. My dogs try and kill my mum's regularly. It grows you can strike it just from a little, branch of it here. In fact, I'll leave you some, Jade, so you can grow it in your own garden. And then you just add it wherever you'd add any other greens.
It's just
and
beautiful.
The plants are so resilient, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're climate
really
resilient.
Much caring, so.
Yeah. They're
holding
meant to
the
be
book
here.
up for those that can see it. It's absolutely beautiful. Damien, Rebecca, thank you so much. First Nations Food Companion, lots of delicious recipes in there. I might pinch one because I've just seen the ice fovos that look yum. Guys, thanks so much for coming
Thanks,
in.
Jade. Thank you.
Thank you.
Introducing the Drive Car of the Year.
The Kia Sportage. Awarded for its new turbo engine that gives you progressive performance. The Kia Sportage has a boldly sculpted sportsback design and soft touch leather interior, making it a natural leader. Kia Sportage, the drive car of the year. To find out more, visit kia.com.au or visit your nearest Kia dealer.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Get a read on local dining. Get a read on when the sun will be shining. Get a read on 2020 bashes and news flashes. Get a read on fuel hikes, rate spikes and red carpet delights. Get a read on grounded flyers, first home buyers and battles down to the wire. Get a read on Today with The Advertiser and enjoy full digital access for only $1 a week for the first 12 weeks. Minimum cost $4. Search The Advertiser offer today. Conditions apply.
Doesn't matter what level you're at, Drummond Golf can improve your game. I've got Shane from Drummond Golf with me. Now, Shane, help us out here. What's the quickest way to improve our game?
Thanks, Rowey. I know this might sound a bit strange, but how often do you get your car serviced?
Oh, once every 6 months.
So why not get your game regularly serviced with either a lesson at the range or utilise one of our ultimate training aids? The two best training aids we have is the Orange Whip Tempo Trainer and the Swing Guide. The Swing Guide is by far the best training tool that attaches to your golf club and keeps you on playing.
And of course, the expert advice to help you get the most out of your game.
That's why we're here, Rowey.
So see Shane and the team at Drummond Golf, absolute legends at Enfield, Darlington, Mile End, Tea Tree Gully and West Beach Driving Range.
If the team at Lamar Homes were magicians...
Hey, presto!
They'd be terrible at it because they have nothing to hide. When you build with Lamar Homes, there's no secrets, no smoke and mirrors, and you can view your home at any stage just to make sure you're happy with everything. Some builders won't let you do that. Not Lamar. lamarhomes.com.au. Here today, home tomorrow.
I'm Professor Jodie Dodd, a clinical director at the Women's and Children's Hospital. South Australia's population is growing, and we need our hospitals to grow with us. The state government is building a brand new Women's and Children's Hospital. It will be even bigger than first planned and located near the Royal Adelaide Hospital on a site that leaves both hospitals with room for future expansion when we need it. With the new Women's and Children's Hospital, we're thinking for the long term. We have big plans for better care for generations to come. To see our plans for the future, visit newwch.sa.gov.au.
Authorised by the Government of South Australia, Adelaide.
Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Welcome back to Afternoons on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. It's a few minutes to 4 o'clock, and of course, coming up after 4 o'clock, Rowey Sports Show. Rowey, goodness me, I think this is probably one of the busiest trade periods we've ever seen.
Day 4-0 of action today, Jade. Jason Horne-Francis is the big one. I think he could be left on the shelf. I do. I'm just reading between the lines. North have really dug in the last 12 hours to hear the rhetoric coming out of the club. I think unless Port really coughs up more than what they're offering at the moment, I think their stance has changed. I reckon this is what happened. From afar, Alistair Clarkson has rung the GM of footy and the list manager, said, fellas, he's contracted. I'm coming back. Don't cop a zucchini over this. Dig in. I've heard Kingy talk about it. I've heard their GM of football talk about it. I've heard their club talk about it. I think that's what's happened. So I think unless Port really cough up, and let's face it, Crows offered 4-5-14 last year. They said no. The deal that's bandied around now is nowhere near that. So if Port aren't going to get rid of a player, and they're now hearing Houston, they've heard Burton, they've heard Bonner, someone's going to have to spit out. If Port don't, they ain't getting him.
Watch this space.
I think he could be left at the club.
Okay.
Suck it up, son. You're at North.
Okay, well, I mean, what, we're day 4? We've got 6 to go.
Well, do I think it'll get done? I do. But today, it's pivoted.
Okay.
It has absolutely pivoted, and I think Port need to get more up. Rankin's paperwork, we believe, has been done. Hopefully there'll be an announcement today, if not tomorrow, and let's hope it's a future first, and they've got that 5th so they can get Matthias Filippo. If not, I think the people like me might get a bit restless. Watch this space. See ya.
Thank you so much, Rowey. Always great to see you. That is the end of our show today. Thank you so much for joining us. We will hold Marina Pryor over till tomorrow. She is a busy lady, so we'll have a chat with her tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great afternoon. Bye for now.
There's no blueprints to your new custom-built Beechwood home. Well, not yet anyway. But together with Beechwood, it won't take long to turn